Hey, it's AP, and today we're installing some veneer edge banding on plywood. Check it out. So when working on furniture projects or cabinet projects or things like that, you'll be working, a lot of the time you'll be working with furniture grade plywood. And unfortunately, furniture grade plywood, or any kind of plywood really, has an unfinished edge. Now, while this could look really cool and contemporary on some pieces of furniture, it doesn't work for most furniture. So you want to edge band it. And there are different ways that you can decorate your edges. You could spackle over this, sand it down smooth, and then paint it. If you're staining your furniture, you would want to use some sort of wood edge banding or a veneer. This right here is 3/4 inch birch veneer. It's an actual, I think this is actually real wood. It is real wood. And on the back side, it has glue. It has glue on it that's activated when you heat it. And to heat it, you just run an iron over it. So we're going to do some edge banding on this piece of plywood right here. So what I'm going to do is I have a kind of a sacrificial substrate that I'm just going to use to as a glorified oversized cutting board. And I'm just going to take my first piece, and I can go over, about a 1/2 inch or so on either side because I am going to trim it off. And then I have my straight edge blade, and I'm going to just trim that. Now, when you're cutting, you got to be careful because you're going across the grain. All right, and then what I can do now is iron this on. And as you can see, possibly, there's a little bit of overage on each side. That's okay. And I'm actually going to do it so there's only overage on one side, which is this side. And I want to try to make it as straight as possible. I'm going to take my iron, which is, I have it on, I'll set it to wool. You don't want, you don't want the steam iron on, so try to make sure you get all the moisture out. And here we go. You just do it in short runs. You don't need a huge amount of heat. I can already feel it kind of gluing down. Yeah, that was fast. Woo! Yeah, you do not need an immense amount of heat for this. And I'm just going to keep going. And trying to keep it as straight as possible. Like I said, we will come back and before I go any further, I just want to flatten it out. And you use that kind of a spare piece of wood to kind of help push it down, flatten it out. There you go. All right, and we'll just keep going. Also, make sure you're using an older iron. My wife is going to kill me when she sees this video because this is our regular iron. So, all right. So now I'll flip it over, and I'm going to trim the edge flush with the end, like that. Trim the other edge. Oh. All right. And then for the top piece here, cool. All right. And then we'll just take a piece of 220 and sand it down a little bit. Smooth out that edge. Yeah. Kind of blend it together. That looks great. And then once you stain it, oh, it's just going to look fantastic. There you go. You now have some beautiful, clean edge banding. All right. All right, once you have that top piece on, you just repeat that same process on every other side. All right, so our shelves are done, and they have nice, clean edges all around. So this is an easy, relatively inexpensive way to clean up the edges of your plywood to make, bookshelves or any reason you have for hiding the edges. You can use this type of edge banding. It's very easy to work with, relatively quick. I think it took me about 15 minutes to do this whole thing, if that. So, and this was my very first time using veneer edge banding too. So if I can do it and get pretty decent results my first time, you can too. All right, well, thanks for watching. I hope you learned something new today. Make sure you subscribe to that channel, give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment below, and until next time, stop planning and start making. Thanks, everybody.